Tree and this is Stitches TV, and today I'm the Stitches doctor. Right, my patient today is Lulu. Hello Lulu.
Hello.
Hi. Right, so Lulu, have you ever used a sewing machine before?
About 20 years ago.
And today what we're going to make is one of these. So for this tutorial I like to use vintage scarves. Now I buy my scarves from a lovely guy called Rob the Dog, Rob the Dog. He's on Fridays at Portobello Market and he categorises all of his vintage scarves, and I straight away go towards all the tourism scarves because they're like picture books. Okay, for this tutorial, and actually for quite a lot of my tutorials, I always revert back to my good old 60s raglan sleeve pattern. But you might not be able to get hold of that, so I've also found it in this Prada style magazine. This one's from February 2012 and it's actually in the maternity section. I like these scarf tops to be so you can either wear it at the back or at the front. So what you need to do is tweak the pattern a little bit. So basically I'm cutting two backs and I've changed the sleeve so that we've got two backs joined together to make one sleeve. I folded over my scarf, one of my scarves that I want to be the main part of the t-shirt, okay? And I'm going to lay my pattern on top of it. Now as you can see, we can't fit it in, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that back, allowing for a bit of a seam allowance there. So I'm going to fold that back like that. And then for the upper part, I know I still need to cut that bit out of my leftovers. So for the moment, let's just think about this bit.
I was going to say that people would expect me to wear scarves on my head because of my alopecia.
Oh, true.
And this is a victory for me, not to be wearing a scarf on my head, but to be, you know, putting it on here. And anyway, I actually didn't really ever wear scarves. You can't hide without hair, that's the worst bit. I would be able to hide more, but anyway, so I'm really happy to not be putting that there.
So it's quite a liberating moment then?
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, cool. Well, here comes another liberating moment because you're going to have to cut it out.
Oh.
Now I'm going to come around here and hold it for you.
Oh my goodness.
Can you just try
follow the line? Just
roughly. It can be just roughly. I'm going to support the fabrics. Just hang on a sec.
Okay, oh my God.
Right, you ready? Off you go then.
My mum, both layers, aren't I?
Yes. Yeah. My mum's just go slowly.
Dressmaking shears that are a foot long.
Oh,
and she cuts our hair with, well, when I used to have it, she used to cut our hair with it.
So she was a pattern cutter?
She was a pattern cutter at Raymar's factory in Durham. It was just shut after 40 years.
Big deal.
Yeah. And
so sorry.
Go on.
Going back to your alopecia.
Yes.
How long ago?
It happened in June 2008, so in nearly 4 years, as we're in May.
Was it very gradual
2012.
or just kind of suddenly?
Two little bits appeared in my long blonde hair either side above my ear. How's that?
That's perfect. So if you can just make a little notch there, that's one snip in where that little triangle is.
Take my glasses off now.
Oh, really?
I've got to get closer, and I'm long-sighted and short-sighted all in one go. What's the notch for?
We use them as landmarks because I don't like to use pins. That's perfect. Snip. Yeah.
Just a snip, not a V.
No, that's fine like that because we'll see it. Now, remember, I always say that the cutting out, it's not the boring bit, but it is like the laborious bit. The fun bit's when you actually get to sew. But we will be there soon. So, do you remember we folded over that material? So I'm just going to quickly cut across here for you because that can be a bit tricky. Okay, it's always handy to have a little notch that signifies the middle of things.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a little notch in there, but not too big.
And that bit there, I can't.
Yeah, I'm going to show you.
I can't understand why.
Okay.
Because isn't it supposed to be all one bit? No.
Yeah, very good. Well, what we're going to do, because we couldn't fit that into the width of the fabric there, so I now know that I need to cut this now with a bit of a seam allowance. So I can take this off, and I've got to find a piece of material that I like that will be that little bit up there.
So you have got a seam here, so you can.
I mean, I actually took that in. That's got a seam there, but you won't have that on yours.
Okay.
Right. So I've got this bit, which I really like. So probably that's the bit that's going to show there.
The red.
A bit of red.
Yeah.
But I need to cut it this big at the moment.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put these. These are the leftover bits from the side, and let's just make sure Yep, just about enough. So with the seam allowance there, so I'm allowing extra. So that's my line.
Yeah.
But I know that underneath there's about a centimetre more. So shall I just quickly cut that?
Should,
yeah, that's fine.
Because there's not much room for manoeuvre.
No. So then we've got the top bit. So then what's going to happen is that gets attached onto there. And then your neck will probably come to about there afterwards.
So the neck isn't the red bit?
No.
Okay.
We've got the bottom half of the front and the back. Okay, but there wasn't enough to cut the whole pattern out of the width. So then with the remaining part, where's my pattern? Sorry. So with the remaining part that didn't fit in, which is this upper bit here, I used that to cut like a top yoke out of the little bits that were left over. So essentially it's going to look something like that. Right, so now for the sleeve. Okay, so what I'm using another scarf. I'm using another scarf for the sleeve. Now you like this Holland bit?
Yes, yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you like the funny little dancing people?
I like the little dancing people.
Okay, and should we see what will fall on the back then? So do you like the upside down windmill? Because it has to be upside down.
Yep.
Now I'm going to cut out the sleeve.
Yeah.
Okay, scissors.
Oh, we. You
Yeah,
mean me.
sorry,
Oh,
you. Right, well done, Lulu. You cut the sleeves out. That's really good. But you were asking me. She was asking me, sleeves. How are they sleeves?
That
so,
bit. That
yeah.
V bit.
So that becomes a dart, and basically it's just that part of the sleeve there.
Okay.
But you'll see later. So what we've got to do is, the first thing that we need to do, the first seam we're going to sew is to attach, you'll be fine, to attach this onto there. So I'm going to start you off and put your foot on the pedal. I bet you know what you're doing a bit.
Honestly, I've gone antique.
Right, all you've got to have in your mind is to keep the same distance away from the edge, which could be the width of that foot there, your sticky.
Fingers are sweating now, isn't it?
And holding this.
Yeah.
That's all you have to think about.
Oh my god, right, okay.
And feeding it through. Off you go.
Oh, this is...
Maybe take it a little bit. Don't pull it though.
Don't pull it. What do you mean
pulling.
take it? What do you mean take
I don't know. Guide it. I mean, it's all slippery fabric. We're being very ambitious doing this. Okay. Right, so look, always know where you're going.
Yes.
So you've got to end up there. It's got to be the same sort of... Like, you nervous?
Yes.
Don't be nervous. It's only a silly little kiddie sewing machine.
I know, but I was just thinking it looked quite high-tech.
Go. One more. Stop. Brilliant. Now, do you know about release?
Do I know about release?
Wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, you lift up the back and you
Go
pull
on
it
then,
out.
let's see. So lift up the
thingy.
So look, so that basically goes there.
Wow.
Oh, that looks nice. It's really nice. So Lulu's done both of them. She's done the front and she's done the back. Now she's not finished yet because you've got a zigzag. Okay.
What's that for? Strengthening or something?
Well, it's just, you know how you get all these frayed bits? If you zigzag the edge, it sort of
Stops
the
it
edge.
doing
And, you know, in industry they would use an overlocker,
Oh, yeah.
but most people don't have overlockers in their
mum's got
home.
an overlocker.
Has she really? I've got one as well, but it needs new brushes. So that everybody can do it, I just use the zigzag on the sewing machines.
Yeah.
Now, when you do the zigzag, you don't have to go backwards and forwards, but you line it up with that middle bit there. You get nervous every time we do this, don't you? Like,
When you say the middle,
yeah, see the middle of that foot there?
that doesn't look like it's the middle of the width though.
No, because
It's the
you're
middle
going
of-
to be going over the edge, you'll
Oh,
see.
it's got to go over the edge. I
Yeah,
see.
start it off and see what happens.
Okay. I don't really.
Yeah,
do I
you're
need
fine.
to hold it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
No, you're all right, go on.
Oh yeah, that's great.
See how it just...
Yes, brilliant. I see what it's doing. I thought it was going to
Yeah.
do all of this width, but it's just
Yeah,
doing the edge.
no.
I thought it was doing the from there to there.
I understand. No, that's good.
Okay. Does it get caught up in itself if it shoots off the edge
and
a
you
bit?
can actually go faster.
Oh.
So, that's pretty good, isn't it? How did you feel doing that? Did it feel weird?
Yes, very weird.
Did it feel weird because you're coming off the fabric?
No, I think it just feels weird because I've never done a zigzag stitch before.
But do you like it?
Yeah, I do really
It's
like it.
good, isn't it? I mean, it's a really practical thing.
Yes.
Now, the next thing that we need to do is we've got to press this seam. You know how much I love to press the seams. Oh, no, we don't. We have to zigzag the other one and then we'll press the seams. So we've pressed this bit. Look how nice it looks. Now, if we didn't press it, it would look like that, which is pretty rubbish, isn't it? So for the sleeves, we need to close off this dart. So what we do, we fold it over, make it flat like that, and I want you to sew from there, coming past this little bit here, and I want you to stop just above that flower there.
Okay.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Don't start. Shall I start you off and show you on the first one? Would that make it a bit easier for you?
Right.
So you go backwards and forwards at the beginning. I'm using the edge of the sewing foot as my guide, and I'm just going to go straight past the opening into nothing, backwards and forwards.
Okay.
All right, so it should look something like that. So we'll get you to do the other one.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Do you want to have a look?
Yeah.
So we've got that, which will, when it's pressed, become that.
Bit more speed, eh?
Yeah, a bit more speed. Shall I tell you where you're going to finish? Be conscious of not stretching the fabric out of shape, and your finishing point's going to be about there. Forwards. Bit more. That's very good. Now you can release it. Now you can release it.
It's like a golden shot.
Yeah. Right, so we've got 2 of those, right, and now all we've got to do is just zigzag them, and then afterwards we have to press them so they're all nice and flat.
Okay.
Right, so press these.
Yeah.
So now Lulu,
This is what it's going to look like.
this is what it's going to look like, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, it does,
it look really nice?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I don't mean to put ideas in your head. Right, so sleeves. So what we need to do, put right sides together, and we're going to attach that onto there. So I'm going to start you off with this one. So slippery fabric, we've got a lot of tricky things to deal with here. I'm matching up with that little arch there on the sleeve, with the arch on the armhole, and your mum will think you're amazing.
She will, yeah.
No, really, she will, because she will absolutely know, not on zigzag, whoops, she'll absolutely know how difficult it would have been for you to work with this fabric.
Yeah.
Well, it's just slippery, and we've got it on the cross and stuff like that. So I'm just going to sew down this one, and then you're going to do the other one. Okay. So Lulu, look.
Yes.
So I've zigzagged it as well, and you're going to do that too.
Yes.
And then when it's opened out, I haven't pressed it. So look.
I'm going to wear it when I go home.
Oh, you really?
I'll wear it on the bus.
Well, you've got your red trousers on, so it will be perfect. So you're going to have to do that other one now. So you're going to sew right sides together. We're going to put those there, and you're just going to stitch all the way down there.
Following that shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, Lulu.
That's lovely.
So are we on camera? Oh, Lulu. Look at that. I'm telling you, look, it looks really, really nice.
It's really
nice. And that's why we use scarves. You couldn't buy material like this, could you? Look at that. And it's got a history and a story. And you could use like your old granny scarf, so it's even sentimental as well. Right, so we've attached both of those sleeves onto the front, even though we don't really have a front and a back. So now that's the back, or the front. That's the back. So now we need to do exactly the same to attach the back, but there's a really important thing, because we're going to be applying ribbing. Let me think. Right, so
the ribbing for the neck, you mean?
Yeah. Now when we stitch up the last sleeve, we've got to remember to leave about 2-inch gap. So what that means is, for the very, very last one that we attach, for the very last sleeve that we put on, I want us to leave a little gap of about, don't work in inches, 4 centimetres, about that, and then you'll find out why in a minute. So we've done the front and we've done the back. We've put the sleeves on, we've zigzagged the edges. I've left that little opening there.
It doesn't matter which sleeve you do that on, does it?
No,
just the last sleeve?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, yeah, just the last sleeve. And the reason why I've left it open is because when we apply the ribbing, do you remember me saying that we were going to apply ribbing at the end?
Yeah.
When we apply the ribbing, so that you don't have to get involved in complicated measurements and things, what I want to be able to do is take that ribbing, so it just goes off into that seam,
yes.
And at the end I can just stitch up the seam. I've also left the opening so that you can try this on.
Yep.
Okay, and
over what I've got on.
Over what you've got on, I think, or maybe not. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to.
Take this
maybe
off?
not, because I'm going to be cutting it, and I don't want to cut your top.
It's lovely.
She looks so good. Does she look so good? My God. Right. So don't be alarmed. I'm not chopping her neck off or anything, and hopefully I'm not going to.
It's only the first time I met you.
So yeah, next time I'll chop it off. So what we're doing now is, because very often when you have the patterns, they're not like slash neck or an interesting neck or anything, and because we did 2 backs, it'll be quite high. So because you've got that opening on, it means you could get it over your head. Okay, so that's one reason for the opening. And also, this is the time. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I'm actually quite nervous.
So you're making it loud.
Oh yeah. So I'm just giving it a bit of shape, but I'm remembering also that it's going to have this ribbing on there. So I think we actually want to. Do you want to go and look in the mirror?
Yeah.
So we find our little opening, which is at the back, and that's where we're going to start to apply ribbing.
Okay.
Now if you can do this, you can do so many. You'll be fine. So we're putting it in that little opening there, and what you have to remember is this, just have in your mind, you have to stretch the ribbing. Not the top.
Oh, right.
You have to stretch the ribbing.
Right,
so we're going to take it now to the sewing machine.
Oh, okay.
As you sew it, it'll be fine. You'll see, it'll be absolutely fine.
So you've laid this in the gap?
I've laid it in the gap,
Okay.
yeah. I'm going to start off without stretching, going backwards and forwards. And now I'm going to stretch the ribbing, and it will curl, but not the bottom. So I do a little bit, then I move along to another little bit, uncurl these things here. No, you'll be fine. I can hear the stressed out sighs. Okay, so stretching the ribbing.
Yeah.
Right, Lulu's coming to the end. I think you found it quite tricky, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing better than I actually was.
No, that's all right. It's tricky because they're slippery. So backwards and forwards now. Right, so this is what Lulu's done. Okay, now when we press it, it will all go all lovely and professional and flat.
Okay.
But before we do that, we just need to zigzag all this horrible stuff.
To stop it fraying.
To stop it fraying, yeah. So pressed your neck.
Yeah.
Okay, now the thing that you...
Could you?
Yeah, I'm getting that way. The thing about pressing the neck is try to remember to keep it as much in the original shape as possible, and we'll probably fiddle with it a little bit more afterwards, but we need to close this seam. Capture the ribbing just into the seam. So that's a good way to finish off the ribbing. Okay, we've done the ribbing on the neck.
Yeah.
Now we're going to fold it over, right sides together, right sides together.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do one side just to show you how to do it,
okay,
and then you'll do the other side. But what I will say is you're effectively stitching the fabric on the cross, which is the diagonal.
Which makes it more stretchy.
Which makes it more stretchy.
I've been listening.
See, some of it's rubbed off, all that pattern cutting mummy stuff. So you can give your... Well, we've got a notch, haven't we? We did notches before. So you can work between the notches.
Okay.
So,
wow,
Lulu,
look at
zigzagged the edges, stitched up both side seams, took it all the way round into the armpits.
Yes.
And done the ribbing on the neck. You ready to try it on?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's go. But look at that. You would never get that in the shop. And how long did it take? About an hour?
Yeah.
About an hour.
Please.